Hello guys, how you guys doing? So today we are going to be drafting out a Milkmade top. So this is the one we are drafting out, exactly this one. So you notice that it's not having a dart on the underbust and it's not having any curve. It's just straight this way and it's having a puffy sleeve. It's a three-quarter sleeve. So that's what we are going to be drafting out. So let's get started with the tutorial. So first thing first, we are going to be drafting out. We are going to be drawing out a straight line, which is going to be our starting line. So this is our starting line. So the next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking your shoulder measurement. So for me, the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 7.5, but I'm going to be using 6.5. Now the reason is because I'm removing 1 inch from my shoulder line so that the elastic on the arm is not going to be too wide and my chest is not going to be opening too much. So that is why I'm reducing 1 inch. So I have 6.5. So the next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking your shoulder slope, which is 1 inches, and the next thing you do, you take your neckline. My neckline is 3 by 3. That's the regular neckline. So the next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking your bust point measurement. So for me, my bust point is 10 inches, my under bust is 13 inches, then my half length is 16 inches. But for this top, I'm going to be working with 18 inches. That's because I don't want the top to be too short, so I'm going to be working with 18 inches. I'm going to be connecting all of this into a straight line. So now to get my chest line, I'm going to be dividing my bust measurement by 6, and I'm going to be adding 1.5. So whatsoever it is that you get, that is going to be your chest line. So for me, it's 7 inches. And I'm going to also be connecting it into a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that the same measurement I have from here, which is 6.5, I'm also going to be adding it here. 6.5 here, and I'm going to be connecting it into a straight line. So now the next thing we are going to be doing, we're going to be taking your dart measurements. So for me, the dart measurement I'm working with is 4 inches. So 4 inches, and I'm going to be returning that 4 inches on the down part of my dress. That is, let me label this. This is my chest line, this is my bust point, this is my under bust, this is my waistline, and this is the full length of the top. So from here now, so I'm placing 4 inches on my full length, and I'm also placing 4 inches on my bust point here, and I'm going to be connecting it into a straight line. Now what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to get my dart. So from here now, I'm going to be taking in ½ inch on each side, ½ inch here, ½ inch here, and I'm going to be connecting it back to my bust point here. So after I'm done doing that, now for the top, you notice that it does not have any curve, so I'm going to be cutting out this place. So it's from here, it's from my under bust here, I'm going to be taking out my cup. Now to take out my cup, what do I have here? I have 4 inches for my dart leg here. I'm also going to be taking the same 4 inches from here, and I'm going to be connecting it straight to my armhole this way. Before doing that, I'm going to be taking my body measurement. So for me, my bust measurement is 8.75. After I divided my bust measurement into 4, is 8.75. I'm going to be adding 1 inches for my sewing allowance. So it's going to be giving me 9.75. So for my waist point, my waist is also 7 inches. That's 28 divided by 4. Then I'm going to be adding 1 inches for my allowance, then 1 inches for my darts, making 9 inches. So I'll be replacing that 9 inches here. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking my shoulder slope. So to take my shoulder slope, I'm just going to be placing my arm all this way. Okay. For the front part, you're going to divide your armhole line into 2, which is 3.5. Then you go in by ½ inches. Then you connect it straight into your armhole curve. So from here now, I'm now going to be connecting that curve that I was supposed to make initially. So now this is my cup. This is my cup for the Milkmade. So this is what I'm going to be using to slash and spread. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I do not want the neckline to be starting from the chest line. It's going to be too open. So I'm going to be going up by 1 inches. So this is going to be the neck of the dress. This is where the neck of the dress is going to start in. So I'm going to be cutting all of this out now. So now this is going to be the bodice. This is what I'm going to be slashing and spreading for my neckline, for my bust. So now before that, let us cut out the back. So now for cutting of the back, firstly I'm going to be taking out my zipper allowance, which is 1 inches. My zipper allowance, which is 1 inches. So this is for my zipper. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be placing this one, that is my front. I should have placed it before cutting out my back, before cutting out the cup. I'm just going to be placing it this way. I'm using it to trace out my back. So guys, this is it for the back. So this is it for the back. And this is it for the front. So now for this front, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing slash and spread. So I'm going to be working with 1 inch allowance for the back. You can work with whatsoever allowance you want, depends on how full you want, but 1 is just fine for me. So I'm going to be slashing and spread. So let me label it before I open it, so that by the time I open it, I will know what I'm working with. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for a long paper to attach it this way. I'm not going to be placing it this way. So this is number 1. So now I'm going to be marking 2 inches, 2 inches, because I want it to have volume. Or let's do 1.5 so that it will not be too much. Please, there's no restriction to do this. You can do as much as you want. Like, your spacing can be as much as you want. You can do 2 inches. This is it. So what we are going to be doing, we are going to be following through this way and cut it out. So this is it for the cup. So we are going to be placing it into the front. So now let's go ahead and cut this out. So to cut this out, this is the beautiful fabric I'm going to be using for this top. Now I'm going to be doing, I folded this fabric into 4. The reason why I folded it off camera is because the fabric is a bit slippery, so I had to like settle down and cut it properly. So this is for the sleeve. So I want the sleeve to be like 3/4 sleeve from the picture I showed you. So this is 21 here, 21.5 here. So I'm going to be folding it like 1.5 inch for my band. That's for the elastic around the sleeve, and 1.5 inch here for the elastic around the sleeve. So by the time I'm done, the sleeve is going to be around 18 inches, which is actually okay for for my 3/4 sleeve. Then next thing I'm going to be doing that I did not do off camera is that now I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inches, and I'm going to be tracing out the sleeve. That 1.5 inches is for the folding, and I'm going to be tracing out this sleeve this way. So I'm using the back pattern to do this. So this is it. So it means that is all for the sleeve. So after I'm done folding, then we are going to be inserting our elastic. And the quantity I folded here is 12 inches. So it means that everything is around 24 inches. So this is it. I folded it into four. So this is one, two. So it means that it's for the two sleeves. So we gather this way and we also gather this way. So this is it for the sleeve. Then I went ahead to cut out the back pattern. So this is it. I added half inches up here and I added half inches down here. Now this is for the cup also. This is for the cup. Now for this cup, I added like 1.5 inches here at the top here. I added like 1.5 inches at the top here. That's because the material is chiffon, so it might be shifting. So I'm going to be folding in for my casing here, and I'm going to be attaching here to the front part. So this is the front part also. I added half inches all around here, which I'm going to be using to join to the cup. So now I'm going to be taking this to my sewing machine. Firstly, I'm going to be gathering this. Now if you notice that this I cut on fold, that's because I'm just going to be opening this up this way. Let me show you. I'm just going to be opening this up this way. So this way, then I'm going to be gathering all of this into it this way. I hope you understand. So this is the upper part. So I'm just going to be gathering. Let me remove this also. So this is what I mean. So this was cut out on fold. So you can see that it's a very long strap. So I'm going to be running a gather stitch all around here, and it's going to be coming into this place. I hope you understand it. So now I'm going to be taking all of this to the sewing machine and doing all of that. So guys, these are the things that I have done off camera. So firstly, let me talk about the sleeve. So this is the sleeve. I've gone ahead to whip a part of it, then I now turned it and I gave it a good press. So this is how it's looking. So I did the same thing for the down part. You know, we are going to be inserting elastic to them. So I did it for the two sleeves like that. So the next thing I did for the back was that I took my that. So I cut out a little facing here. So I used it to turn the upper part of the neck so that it's not going to be looking too rough. But for this down part, I'm just going to hem it this way. For this down part, I'm just going to be hemming it this way. So I will hem it this way, and that's all for the back. So I did it for the two sides of the back, and I took in my dart. So this is, I'm giving it a good press. So this is my dart. So I'm going to be placing the both side on each other this way, and I'm going to be inserting my zipper. So this is the zipper that I'm going to be using for the back. So to insert the zipper, I'm just going to be placing it this way. Because this zipper is long, so I'm going to be using this down part so that when the person remove it, it's not going to be removing entirely. So I'm going to use this down part. I'm going to be working on 1 inch. I'm going to join it on 1 inch, and I also join the other side. So I'm now going to draw down my zipper and top stitch and just finish. So that is it for the back. Then for the front parts, so this is it also for the front back part. I went ahead to weave this down part, so I'm just going to be turning it also by half inch, and I put half inch there, so I'm going to be turning it with the half inch. So this is the cup area. So this is the cup area. So I've gone ahead to run a gather stitch, which I said I was going to be doing. I've gone ahead to run a gather stitch just to draw it. So I'm going to be attaching it to this part. Then the upper part where I left 1.5 inches, I went ahead to fold it out. So I'm going to be inserting my elastic also through this part. So for this one, I'm going to be looking for the midpoint. For this, I'll be looking for my midpoint. So this is my midpoint this way. So I'm going to be placing it on the midpoint here. So this way I'm going to be stitching it this way, stitching it this way till I'm done to this part of the sleeve. So I'll go ahead and stitch it and come back and show you how it's looking.
So guys, I've gone ahead to finish up my gathers, and at the upper part I added my elastic. So the elastic I cut out is around 10 inches, which I inserted to around the gathers at the upper part. So the next thing, this is my sleeve. I've added my elastic on the down part of the sleeve and also on the upper part of the sleeve. So this is also for my back. I've gone ahead to insert my zipper. I've turned the down part, like I've sewn the rough edges at the down part with my half inches. So now I'm placing my front on it, and I'm going to be taking my body measurement. So I'm just going to be placing it in the right way. Then I'll be taking my body measurement. So after I'm done, I'm going to be inserting the sleeves. Then I'll come back and show you the finished look. So guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, and you can share, like and subscribe to the channel. Bye guys, see you in the next tutorial.